Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel, Meet the Teats. My name is Melissa, and today I am coming to you with another video. Now today's video is going to be about how to be a Christian wife, or I'm not quite sure what I'm going to title this video, but it's about being a Christian wife and giving you some tips and tools that I have learned from and things that I have done to just be sure that I am being the best wife that I can be to my husband, Chris. Now, if you are new to this channel, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Melissa, and my husband and I have a YouTube channel called Meet the Teats. And on this channel, you guys, we talk about faith, family, and lifestyle. So if you are interested in any of those things, you guys, be sure to click that red button, hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss any of our uploads. All right, so we're gonna actually just go ahead and get into this video. Okay, you guys, so I want to start off by saying that a Christian wife is not a perfect wife. A lot of people think that, oh, you're a Christian and you're a wife, then everything must be perfect in your life. Like, no, honey, like that's not the case. A Christian wife is not being a perfect wife. What a Christian wife is someone who is a wife who is striving daily to please God in their marriage or to please God in their life. And that's exactly what a Christian wife is, you know. And early in our marriage, I did not understand that concept. I literally thought that I had to be perfect, you guys, and I struggled in the beginning of our marriage. I remember coming home from work one day, and I just literally dropped my bags off at the door and went into the kitchen and just like started bawling, crying. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like I could not stop crying, y'all. And Chris came in there like, what is going on with you? And I just felt so much pressure on me and like so much stress. I was like really stressed out because there were dishes in the sink, you know. I couldn't keep up with the laundry for nothing, y'all. Like it was constant laundry like piled up, and I could not get a hold of it. I couldn't figure out like a dinner schedule because sometimes I work nights, and I'm just like, it was just crazy, and I was always tired all the time. So I had put these unrealistic, these predetermined expectations on myself for what I thought marriage was and what I thought being a Christian wife was all about. And I thought I had to have it all together all the time, and it just caused a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress in my life. And I had to come to the point where I had to completely trust God with just how to be a wife. I had some great examples in my life of Christian women who were wives, and I honestly was trying to be like them. And I learned that, you know, I need to be striving to be like Christ and ask God for wisdom on how to be a Christian wife to my husband, Chris. So we're gonna start off with these points, y'all. And I tell you that story because I'm speaking more from I'm speaking from a place where I'm not telling you like this is what you got to do in order to have a successful marriage. Like, no, I'm not talking from that point. I'm talking from these are things that can help you have a successful marriage. And comment down below if you agree with any of these tips here, or even if you want to add some that I did not mention, because your comment down below can help somebody else if they are in a godly marriage, or even if they are planning to get married. Okay, so the first tip I have you guys is you must become one with your husband. Now, this here is something that may seem like a no-brainer to a lot of people, but it is possible for you to be married to someone, to have consummated the marriage, all of that, all of that, and still not be one with your husband. Okay, because you two are on the different pages and you're not on the same page. And it's really easy, to be honest, to just go through the day-to-day process, the day-to-day routine, and not be on the same page. And it is so important, you guys, to become one with your husband, because when you are one, when you are together, walking together and doing life together, I'm telling you, you are going to be unstoppable for the kingdom. So make sure that you two are communicating, you're expressing to each other your dreams, your goals, things that God is speaking to you, so that you can become one with your husband and your husband can become one with you. My second point is to show your husband godly love. Now, the reason why you get married is probably because you love each other. But there is a difference between God's love, godly love, and love that the world talks about, because godly love is not based off circumstances. It's not based off feelings and things like that. So for example, early in our marriage, Chris got laid off from his job. Within like maybe a month of us being married, Chris was not working. And if my love for him was based off feelings, based off circumstances, that would have had a huge impact on the way that I look at him, the way that I talk to him, the way that I feel about him. And because my love for Chris is not based off feelings and circumstances and things like that, I was able to see that as, okay, this is an opportunity for us to trust God even more in our finances. And because we did that, and because I trusted God in our finances in that situation, my love for him did not change just because he was not working. And I want to read you guys a Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 4, starting at verse 4. This is what it says. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. So again, all of these things I just listed was not based off circumstances. It was not based off, oh, if he has this, or if he's doing this, or if he's treating me like this, then I'm going to love him. Like, no, okay? It's based off what the Bible says that love is, and it is not based off feelings, and it's not based off circumstances. And then the third point is supporting your husband. Just supporting him in his work, encouraging him, speaking life into his dreams and his goals that he has for himself. The thing is, when your husband is feeling down, because there will be times when he is not feeling 100%, like he's not on top of the world and he's feeling down, and that's when you come in and you encourage him and you support him, you speak life into him, because the enemy is literally threatened by a godly marriage. And the enemy is going to try to discourage, to break your husband down mentally. It could be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and you must be there to support him, to lift him up, to speak life, to speak positivity into his life, so that he can feel supported, he can feel loved by you. Genesis 2:18 says, where the Lord God said, man should not be alone, but I will make a helper suitable for him. And when people say like, oh, like I'm his helpmate, some people may get a little off put by that and be like, I'm not about to be a slave to no one. But it's not about that. It's not in a demeaning way or in like a slave master type way, but it's just like that you are being a helpmate. Like you are helping him when he's in need, just like you would want him to help you when you are in need as well. So you are his helpmate, and where you see where you see where he may need help, then that's where you will come in and help him with whatever that may be. So number 4 is to listen first, think secondly, and then speak. So listen, think, and then speak, you guys. Like, especially for women, we can easily just like start gabbing at the mouth, but it is so important to first listen to what he's actually saying. Okay, sometimes guys don't communicate as well as women, and it can be easy for us to overtalk him, or to say, what you're saying, I hear you, but this is what I'm saying, you know, and not really listening to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes when men say things, like, they may really mean something else. And I know that can be real confusing, but you really have to think about, what is he saying? How does this apply to me? And how can I do better in this situation? So when we listen and then we really think about what he is saying, then we can speak on it. Okay, but if we are trying to overtalk him, constantly arguing with him, or nagging him about whatever situation it may be, that can be really bad. And you don't want the way you communicate with your husband to always be arguing. So when you listen first and then you think about what you're going to say before you say it, that can eliminate a lot of arguments between you and your spouse. That kind of leads me to number 5. Sometimes you don't need to speak at all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have to say anything at all, but instead of speaking about it, or instead of talking about it, possibly saying something that you regret or could hurt his feelings, maybe you should go to God in prayer about it. Because a Christian wife prays for her husband daily. I mean, daily. You need to pray for your husband, y'all, because your husband has a lot going on, and so do you as well, but he's the head of the household. So like I said before, the enemy is going to come up to him first. So make sure you have your husband lifted up in prayer. Pray for his mind, pray for his job, pray for his well-being, pray for his everything. Okay, I mean everything. And maybe I'll do another video about things you should be praying for your husband. Maybe that's like a whole nother video down the line. If you're interested in that video, comment down below and I'll make that for you guys. But I pray for Chris every single day, and there are specific things that I pray for him, things that, you know, he may be doing absolutely great in, but you never know that moment where he could be struggling in a certain area. And I want to be prayed up, y'all. Like, prayed up, going to God in prayer, because honestly the Bible says, like, in everything come to God in prayer. And definitely you should be praying for your husband. And number 6, continue to learn things about your husband. When you first get married, or when you're dating or courting, or whatever you want to call it, you're probably trying to get everything and learn everything about him. Okay, and that's great. Okay, definitely learn everything you can before you get married. But after you get married, that learning does not stop. No, like, you continue to learn more and more things about your husband. And plus, your husband is growing, he's maturing, he's becoming a husband. So just in that in itself, there are things that you need to know and things that you can learn from him. And he's growing in his relationship with the Lord, and God is depositing things in him. Those are things that you can be learning about him, you know. And Chris and I, we always talk about our past and past relationships, and us growing up as a kid and what that was like, and how that has impacted our lives now. And those are great conversations that you can be having on a daily, or, you know, maybe not every day, but whatever it is for you guys, you know. Just continue to learn about your husband, the things that he likes, the things that he don't like, you know. When I was younger, I used to like this, but now I don't like this anymore. Okay, don't make it a big deal, like, oh, I thought you liked this, like, why, you know. No, okay, he's growing, he's maturing, he's becoming a different person, he's becoming more Christ-like. So Continue to learn things about your husband. Now, if he's changing for the worst, now that's something different. So number 7, if you have a problem, be sure to address it right away. Now this is huge, okay? This is huge. Some people say, well, I don't want to address it because I don't want to hurt his feelings. Girl, like, he can handle it, okay? If there's even the smallest things, like, be sure to address it, because these small issues, these small problems can grow and grow and grow, build on top of each other, build on top of each other. Next thing you know, it's a big problem. So be sure to address them, address those things that are just like so irritating, that gets under your skin, because it may be just a quick change or something like, oh, I didn't know that bothered you. He may not even understand or know that even bothers you. So make sure you are addressing it so it does not blow up to become a bigger issue. So number 8, trust your husband and the relationship that he has with the Lord, okay? Now, your relationship with the Lord may not look exactly the same as his relationship with the Lord. You guys may not be on the same level spiritually. So trust that God is speaking to him. Trust that he is seeking after him, and that he is pursuing God for the plan that he has for your marriage, for your family. And, I like to journal in my devotional time. I like to journal. I like to play worship music. I like to do this. I like to do that. I mean, my devotion time is like really like structured. Now, Chris' devotional time is not so structured. It does not make my time with the Lord better than how he spends with his time with the Lord. No, it does not. So just trust that God is speaking to him. Trust that he is seeking after him, and that God is depositing what is needed for your marriage and for your family and your husband. And this leads me to my next point, is be sure that you and your husband are equally yoked. And what that means is that what you believe and what I believe should be equal. Okay, it can be challenging. I've never been in a situation where actually I have. When I was dating, I've dated people who were not believers, and there was a lot of conflict because I wanted to go to church and I wanted to have this devotion time together, and he was like, I don't do that. So I'm like, okay, and immediately it was just conflict. So be sure that you are equally yoked with your husband, and even if you're not a believer but you inspired to be one and he's not a believer, and you guys are married, not saying, oh, go get a divorce, you're not equally yoked. No, okay, y'all are married, okay? So you can be praying for your husband, you can be encouraging them, speaking the word over his life and all of that for his salvation and things like that. But it's a beautiful thing when both of you are equally yoked, you're on the same page, you're one when it comes to God and your relationship with him, and it can definitely enhance the marriage and the relationship. Last but not least, number 10 is something that I think is so important, and it's just to simply respect your husband. Now that may seem like that's a no-brainer, but there are so many low-key ways that you can disrespect your husband. It's ridiculous. And sometimes you can be disrespecting your husband and not even know that you're disrespecting him. For example, if you are demeaning him or saying or even comparing your husband to somebody else's husband, or people that you see online, or marriages that you see here on YouTube, and you're like, well, my marriage is not like that, or such and such does this, husband does this, and you don't do that. Why don't you do that? I wish I had a marriage like that. That's disrespectful. Okay, there is no reason why you need to compare your marriage or your husband to somebody else's husband. Okay, you married who you married, and that is your husband, and you need to respect him at all costs. Okay, at all costs, because men, honestly, they're just wired a little bit differently than women are, and they need to know that they are respected by you, their wife. And when they don't feel respected, then they can become very insecure. They can be that can damage their self-worth. And you know, you don't want to be that person to do that to your husband. You want to be the person, like I said before in my earlier points, to uplift them, to uplift them, to support them, and all of that. And it comes with having a level of respect for them first and foremost, because at the end of the day, they're a man, and men want to be respected. You know, if they're not respected at home, you know, that can be, I mean, they go find somebody who can respect them. So please make sure you are respecting your husband, ladies. That's all I got for you guys. I hope those 10 points encouraged you or helped you in any way. If you guys have any more tips, please leave them in the comment section below so other people can be encouraged by your comments, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video and coming to the end of this video. You are the real MVP. Make sure you hit that red button, that notification bell as well, so that you can be notified when we upload a video. So thank you again so much. I really appreciate it. And remember 2 Corinthians 5:7, where it says we walk by faith and not by sight. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.